At school, I'm known as the science nerd, the one who gets an A-star in chemistry every time. But at home, I'm a walking safety hazard. My parents, understandably, are still quite upset about the fact that I've, blown up my bedroom. But here's the thing. Despite all those A stars, I've learned far more from my failures than from those so-called perfections. From the first time we stepped into the lab in year 7, my classmates and I have been spending half a decade following our science teacher's instructions down to the very last detail. Why? To get a perfect set of results, a perfect practical, a perfect lab report. But what if I ask you this? Does this perfection really teach us anything? What if we throw away the instruction manual so the real learning could begin? Let me give you an example. One day, I was trying to crystallize caffeine out of caffeine tablets. No instructions, no online tutorials, just me and my curiosity. And I failed. Nothing crystallized. It looked like a complete waste of time. But instead of throwing all those waste liquid away, I kept them in a test tube overnight. And the second morning, I woke up to something truly amazing. Caffeine crystals lying on the bottom of the test tube. This one unexpected result sparked me a new question. Why did it happen? And that drove me down a rabbit hole of research into caffeine's unique solubility, and eventually it became the topic of my chemistry essay. One unexpected result, one failed experiment, and yet it has taught me more about solubility than any textbook ever had. Now, this isn't just my experience. This is what happened to many famous scientists. Alexander Fleming didn't discover penicillin by following an instruction manual. He was a curious scientist and, yes, a bit messy, who accidentally contaminated one of his petri dishes. But here's the point. He had the passion and the mindset to look for anything that could kill bacteria. So, when he saw that little mold in his petri dish wiping out bacteria, he didn't discard it. He leaned in, and that moment of curiosity changed medicine forever. And by the way, got him a Nobel Prize. Now, I found my failures somewhat similar to Fleming's. I am also curious, and admittedly a bit messy. But when my experiment didn't go as expected, I feel like I have to find the reason behind it. That forced me to do a lot more research and to go beyond my school syllabus. And despite I didn't end up getting a Nobel Prize, I did end up with a consolidated understanding of caffeine solubility. And that won't happen even if I read through the book 3 times. In our lives, we are trained to fear failure. We fear burning a birthday cake. We fear not dressing for the correct occasion. We even fear of just being not good enough at what we do. But the reality is, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. You have to climb through some sort of failure before you reach your success. Unfortunately, many people don't recognize that, and some of my classmates believe that I'm naturally good at chemistry, perhaps inherited. But all those failed experiments, all those pain cleaning up shattered glassware at late night are the real learning and the real reasons behind my A stars. In reality, perfection is a myth. Chasing a perfection is like chasing the mirage. Every step towards it pushes it further away from us. Even worse, during this process, we are forced to remember those so-called correct answers. We give up thinking. We became actors repeating lines, not engineers trying to do problem solving. And no progress could ever be made from that. Instead of being obsessed over perfection, we need to embrace another strategy: productive failure. Every error should not be feared but should be honored. Every error should be taken as a stepping stone towards our success. But if we are not blowing up our bedroom, or even if we are, how do we embrace productive failure? My answer is our school values. Curiosity that allows us to ask questions that nobody has asked before. Confidence that tells us we will eventually find the answer. Courage allows us to take risk towards our success, and ideally there should be a community that supports us when our plan didn't go as expected. Now, you definitely have seen those 4 values when you enter this building. It's on a poster. Now it's time to embrace them. So, we need to experiment more. In science, in life, in everything. Because at the end of the day, what we learn from trial and error is always louder than words. Thank you.